I don't know if the Holy Bible was put together by the white supremacists or not. That's controversial. Some people say yes, some people say no. I say I don't know.
Okay.
But I do know this. Whatever the white supremacists touch, they are not going to fool with it for 5 minutes unless they figure out a way in 5 minutes to put it to work for the system of white supremacy. They'll find something else to touch. So if a white supremacist puts his hand on a Bible or her hand on a Bible, they are going to say, now, this Bible is already here, but I am going to use it to do the things that I want to do. And I'm going to make everybody else of color fall in line so that this Bible will support whatever it is that I want done. And I will even change the meaning of every passage of it without changing a word. I'll just say, that's not what that means. And the black preacher will say, that is what that means. It's right here in the Bible. But the white supremacists say, boy, what did I say it meant? It meant that yesterday. Why? Because I said that it meant that yesterday. But that's not what it means today, boy. Hey, who is your master here on earth? Your master in your heart and in your head and in your church that I allow you to have is somebody else. What you call your God, and that's okay, I'll let you do that. But boy, when I walk in your church, with or without a gun, you will, and you and your congregation, your choir, and everybody you got here, young and old, will and have obeyed me from day one. So don't get in my face waving a Bible, boy. Now, the white supremacists, just like they do with, I make this comparison because, lots of people like their dogs, but their dog is still a dog. You might put your dog in a fur coat and walk it out into the winter snow, and that dog is wearing an expensive fur coat. Fur coat made for dogs. Some people may do that. Why? Because they really favor their dogs. I won't say like, but they have, they just say, I want a dog, and it's my dog, so I'm going to treat my dog with great comfort. It's the same way with some white supremacists. They'll say, I'm going to take my Negro and put him in the finest clothes you ever want to see. I'm going to dress him up, and I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to have a show of several of my favorite black people. And I'm going to have them go around in a circle, and show off all their diamonds and their tattoos and their hairdos and all of this. I'm going to groom them well, just like I do the rest of my animals, my dogs, my horses, my other stable of other things, in order to do what? Embellish me. Say, hey, I am so wealthy that I can make my Negroes think that they are kings. Put them on a pedestal and have them prance around and show off particularly to other Negroes about all the wonderful things that they got from me. Oh, well, black people getting into what you call elected office and not keeping their promises, that's what you expect. See, that's a part of the code. You always expect that. Why? Because they can't a black person cannot promise anything who has been elected in a system of white supremacy unless the white supremacists say that I'm going to back up your promise. So it's always a guess. The black person may have the best of intentions, and most of them do. But in a system of white supremacy, the white supremacists said, I know you promised those black people this, that, and the other, all your relatives and cousins and whatnot, but I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to let you do it. So forget about that, boy. Forget about that, gal. You ain't getting it. And so you go out there and explain it any way you want to. But anything that you are going to give them, you got to get it from me. You have nothing on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You are subject to me. Hey, wake up. You're in the system of white supremacy. So no black person on this planet can promise anything to any other black person
Mm-hmm.
without the white supremacist saying, oh, yes, I'll see to it that you can make good on that promise, because anything that you have, you got to get it from me. And if you don't have it, you can't give it to them. Someone called in and they was talking about leadership, and I wasn't knocking leadership, and some suggestions were made about who should be supported as a leader. And under the compensatory logic that I've written about and that I follow, I'm duty bound to say that anybody who wants to become a leader should just step forward and become a leader. Now, a leader has to have followers, so it's just a matter of how efficient a leader is at gathering followers. I'm not opposed to that, because I think some people might have gotten the idea that I was opposed to black people having leaders. No, definitely not. If you can become a leader, but then who is the official leader of black people as of this moment? And I'm saying the official leader of black people throughout this planet as of this moment are the white supremacists. They are my leaders. They're the ones who have the muscle to tell me what to do. They can make me do things. You know, now there might be some black person somewhere who will say, oh, well, I can make you do things too. But it's been my observation that black people who say that they are leaders, when they even try to get other black people to do things, they have to answer to the white supremacists. Because the white supremacist says there's not going to be one leader on this planet, and that leader is going to be white. So don't think that because you give yourself a title as a black person of being a leader of black people, I'm the leader of black people. And so if you think you're going to compete with me, even if you think you can put the muscle on black people and get them to follow you, you still have to answer to me. Because when you put the muscle on them, and I don't approve of the way you're using that muscle, then you're in trouble with me. And you dare get in my face, because you know what will happen to you. And this has been my observation all along. That's why I say there's no such thing as black leaders. There are black spokespersons. I'm a black spokesperson. Why? Because I speak. Any black person that speaks, that's all you have to do is just speak. And you are a black spokesperson. But a leader has to have muscle to back up what they say and break anybody's arm that doesn't like it, or break their necks if it comes to it. In other words, a leader has to have the muscle from somewhere.